Hey, welcome back to this episode of the Chatterjack Podcast. Today we're joined by Joel Pennington. He's the restaurant manager at Cottage in the Wood, right here in Cumbria. It's a Michelin star restaurant, so stay tuned to hear what it's like to work in a Michelin star service, what it's like to be the scholar of the gold standard of service and the international travels that he's about to undertake, but also a bit about behind the scenes and what they really get up to when they're serving us in these lovely restaurants across the world. Joel, welcome to the episode of the Chatterjack Podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Joel. I'm the restaurant manager of the Cottage in the Wood.
Thank you.
I'm a local lad.
I know. I'm chuffed to bits that you're here. We've got loads to cover. And thanks so much for coming, because I know you're heading to work after this.
Yeah, in about 45 minutes.
So we won't keep you too long, but we have got a lot of ground to cover.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Cottage in the Wood.
Yeah.
What do you do there? What's your job title? What's your role? Tell us about that.
So I've been there over about 2 years now, and then I look after the restaurant and the team there. So it's run by Jack and Beth Bond, who are relatively young, exciting new owners. Yeah. So they've refurbished pretty much the whole of the cottage. Yeah. Getting new things in every week. We do a lot of foraging, sourcing locally. We've just recently retained our Michelin star as well.
Amazing.
And we're kind of on the trajectory to going towards a green Michelin star. So all about sustainability and kind of working with the locals, but at the same time, dialing back waste and everything about that. Yeah.
That's
it's
exciting.
super cool. Yeah.
And you've been there for 2 years?
Yeah, just over 2 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's a great team. Got a couple of new team members at the moment that are kind of encouraging and inspiring to get better and kind of go on that journey in hospitality, basically. Yeah.
Excellent. We haven't always worked in a Michelin star.
No. So it all started back in Cockermouth whilst I was at school at Viva.
Yeah.
Under the influence of Gareth Loriman Williams. Gaz, as everybody knows him, absolute legend. When I was working there, he was like, go and do your thing, be out the front, be with the guests, go get to know them, and I just loved it. And throughout school, it was tough, challenging, because really great grades, but sitting still in the classroom was not for me. Yeah. So when I got to that Saturday, I knew I was at work. I was like, this is brilliant. So it doesn't matter what time you had to get up in the morning, what time you finished, it was there. And then it was him that, whilst I was kind of joined them full time after A-levels, it's him that kind of said to me, have you ever thought about a career in hospitality? And I thought, not really, no. Because hospitality is one of them careers where people don't see it as a career. They see it as a platform. They see it as a stepping stone for the next chapter in their lives. So he was like, why don't you go ahead and go along with it? So I did a little supervisory qualification, just in hospitality supervision. But whilst I was there, and then I thought, right, I want to try fine dining. So my mate at Keswick School, his dad owns a property called Hazelbank Country House Hotel, which is run by Gary and Donna McRae. Yeah. And I did 1 day a week with them. I had to get the bus from Cockermouth to Keswick. Yeah. And then get another really windy bus from Cockermouth, from Keswick all the way down to Borrowdale on that windy thing. And it used to take me literally about an hour and a half to get to work, because it was you had to wait in Keswick, and it was that commitment. But I got there, and then sometimes I get a lift home to Keswick in Gary's super nice car, which was really exciting. And then that's how it's begun. Then I left the Lake District at the age of 18, and left home and was living full time in Ambleside, and that was kind of my next step of the journey, basically. Yeah.
But a lot of resilience and grit and determination to make it work. There's probably a lot of people would not take that journey because of the weather would be rubbish in winter in the Lake District, sort of stuff. But you were determined to do it.
I mean, the funniest story is the first job before even Viva started. Yeah, I was working at the Squirrel's Pantry.
I wrote this down.
And this is absolutely nuts. But basically what happened there was I was only working there for, I think, about a few months. Yeah. And the old ladies that were working there at the time, this is going back many, many years. And no disrespect to them, but basically what happened was I was working from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I used to get the bus there. And they used to only I used to get paid literally just over £3 an hour, but getting the bus there cost me a couple of quid.
Of course.
And then I'll be going home. Luckily, if my mum or dad could give me a lift back, that would be great. But otherwise, you wouldn't be even making any money. And that's how all of a good. Yeah.
Jeez. So. Wow. But that passion was always there to be
absolutely.
in hospitality.
Yeah. Just always loved it.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So did that come from, was that sort of exacerbated and sort of you felt that when you were at school? What was school like? You mentioned just briefly that it was...
I think school wasn't kind of the main element of where I found the love for hospitality. I think school was an area where I realised that I wanted a job that was fast-paced.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
And that's a job that I loved to do.
Yeah.
And Dad being an accountant,
yeah,
I was always good at maths at school, and I was really switched on.
Yeah.
I was thinking I could be an accountant like my dad, but I kind of seen what he did and seen what he did on a day-to-day basis, sitting behind a desk and kind of doing the numbers, and I thought, it's great. That's what he loves to do. And he comes home and he's excited because he's passionate about that.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't want to be sitting still. I can't physically sit still. And I was always told off at school because I was an absolute menace in the classroom because I understood it all.
Yeah.
But I couldn't sit still and I couldn't retain that attention span because I had attention like a gnat.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of process. But I loved going into food tech and doing that and cooking a little bit.
Yeah.
And
was that your favourite subject, would you say?
No, I think it's my sports, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But there was a story whilst I was at the food tech, which was I used to tell my dad that when he used to buy me the cooking ingredients, it was actually I had to buy double the ingredients, but it was a little bit of a lie to him. Mm-hmm. And he used to buy me double the ingredients for my food tech, and I used to go into the classroom and I made my cookies or whatever we're making. With double the quantity, and then I would double the amount of cookies.
Yeah.
And as a young business entrepreneur,
absolutely,
I went home. Them. So I went on the bus on the way home, and I sold all my cookies for 100% profit.
I love it
because I didn't buy the ingredients, and they were £1 a cookie. And then I used to come away with the money.
Get on.
Yeah.
Get on.
That's how it kind of started.
I love it. But you mentioned there that sports were your favourite subjects. So was there a particular sport that you enjoyed? Or just,
so it's football and badminton. Okay. They were my two kind of main ones.
Yeah.
And then running. We've been running as a family since I was a kid, basically.
Yeah, because Dad runs, doesn't he? I know Dad from a work setting. So.
Yeah, so Dad's on his 800th day run streak at the moment. He's an absolute nutter. And he runs an average of 4 miles a day. So he's pretty crazy. Yeah. But he was born with clubfoot. Yeah. So he's always been an inspiration for me because for the first few years of his life, it was very challenging for him to even walk, never mind to run. So when it further down the line, a couple of specialists never said that running was never going to be a thing for him. And he's 60 now. And he's ran every day for all these days, but also he's done I think I would say almost 100 marathons across his time.
Yeah.
And he's still running and anything's possible. So he's always in the back of my head thinking, if he's running, why am I not running? Kind of thing. So, and it's great. It's great for your mind. That's the best thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We do have a joke, Dad and I. He's on an 800-day streak of running. I'm on an 800-day streak of Duolingo. So
nice. He was as well. He was doing something like that.
Yeah, we were comparing
notes.
So.
Nice. I love it.
But yeah, he's an inspiration. I would absolutely say that. So about childhood, parents, that sort of thing, a really, really good, nice upbringing.
Really good grounding. Yeah, it's I was living just outside of Cockermouth in an area called Broughton Cross. We had a glorious house with a nice garden. I'd always invite my friends over to play in the garden. It's kind of football and messing around outside. That was kind of our thing. So Dad being in finance and Mum, as she started off initially as a social worker in West Cumbria. Yeah. Specialising in some really tricky areas, and then she went down the path of becoming a vicar. Yeah. So she's in the church. She's absolutely brilliant. She's one of the most exciting, fun-loving, an abundance of energy, vicar you could ever meet. It's just what vicars need to be. Yeah. So she's an inspiration for me, especially with the way that she can speak and do public speaking in front of people. And I think touching upon church, my kind of love for people and getting to know people and kind of having conversations was when I was really young. Yeah. And I always used to go to Christ Church, Cockermouth. And at the end of each church service, whilst I was waiting for mum and dad to finish talking,
Yeah.
I was literally, I would say 6, 7, 8, and I would go up to the adults and have full conversations with these adults. And I think that was my initial kind of interaction was I had no other thing to do. So I thought, well, I'm just going to speak to people. So I got to know all of like the congregation at such a young age. And I think that's where the initial kind of people skills came from. Mm-hmm. It was the interaction at the end of church with people there.
That's so interesting that you can point it.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So
that's what I kind of think.
Because there'll be such a diversity in the congregation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. That's so cool. I love it.
But when it got to like 16, I was like, Mum was like, do you want to come to church with us still? Or do you want to play football? I was like, I want to play football. Mm-hmm. So
which team
that's
do we
what
support?
I did. I'm a Manchester United fan. And I've got a season ticket. So
actually.
So I have to fit that amongst all of my other things.
I'm sure you'll give them some top tips on their hospitality.
Yeah. I would love to one day do some sort of work in a hospitality box. Yeah. But just as an experience, not as a career. But, that'd be cool.
We probably know some people. We can see what we can do. Yeah. We'll put it out till the ether and see what happens. But a really good grounding, really, really people focused and people oriented.
100%.
And that's no surprise to me that's how you've ended up where you are. I'm curious about people and want to know their stories. And we were just chatting off air, weren't we, about how we've got into this and the synergies between what I do, what you do, and it's all people focused, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we went from Hazelbank. What was your role there?
So I was just a general assistant.
All right, okay.
I didn't know how to tie my tie. So Gary, every day, I try my best.
Yeah.
And he would always change it. And it was that principle of kind of realigning it and kind of getting it into sync that kind of was one of the foundations of my journey, because he was the one that like showed me that it has to be done that way.
Yeah.
Because that's what the impression it's going to give to the guests, that you know how to present yourself.
Yeah.
You know how to be on display all the time, and you're always on show. If the guest's not eating, the guest's looking at the staff, because the guests are not looking at anything else. There's nothing else to look at. So the other people they're going to look at is the guest. And if the staff member's got a wonky tie, it's not going to look good. So Hazelbank was cool. It taught me loads. I worked with some really cool chefs. There's a guy called David, who's Oak Bank chef on Instagram, and he was a really good lad. He was the only problem, he was a Liverpool fan. So, we had a lot of banter back in the day about it.
I understand that. My other half is a Man United fan, so I get the Liverpool beef. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I learned a lot from them guys, and that was kind of the business model that they had there of the Country House Hotel, family run, is my aspiration of what I want to do in the future.
Oh, fantastic.
So I want my own Hazelbank. That's my dream. Yeah.
I love that. So what did a typical day in the life look like when you were at Hazelbank? What did
Hazelbank was it was just literally, I was only there for a few hours in the evening, so it was just preparing stuff, carrying dishes out, learning some of the dishes, learning about the wines, just being that extra pair of hands basically. Nice. And showing guests through to the tables, and then just learning the fundamentals of how to serve guests in a fine dining establishment.
And how long were you there?
I was there, I think kind of on and off for about a year. Nice. Just as I was working kind of through Viva. Yeah. Just kind of an additional part-time thing that I was doing. Again, it was not an extra financial gain. It was the purpose of there was to go and learn a little bit more about hospitality. From Hazelbank, I then moved into the Lakes, and I lived in Ambleside for 3 years.
Yes, you did.
So I was working at some country house hotels. Yeah. But whilst I was working there, I was studying full-time at Kendal College. So studying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday there. Yeah. Working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
God, yeah.
For literally for 2 years. And that was super hard. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Really hard, yeah. So just kind of working 4 9-hour days on the Thursday to the Sunday. Some days finishing at 2:00 in the morning because it was weddings that I was looking after. Yeah. But the Kendal College was the key thing I kind of wanted to mention, because they are just amazing there, because the hospitality training is super cool. Yeah. My dad at the time, well, a few years later actually, dad actually ended up working at Kendal College as the finance director.
Seriously?
So he knows quite a lot of the staff as well now.
Yeah.
But whilst I was there, I was doing a HND level 5 in hospitality management, which was really cool to do because it's a different path to doing a degree. So what you can do is, instead of going down so I did my A-levels, didn't get very good A-levels because I just wasn't really focused at all.
Yeah.
But if you do a HND level 4, which is your first year of equivalent to uni, HNC level 4, and then HND level 5, and then your last year is your level 6. You can then go to uni for that last year and get a top-up degree, and then your degree is a full degree, basically.
Got you.
So that's the kind of journey I went on. So I did my hospitality management.
Love.
And then the last year, I decided then to move to Lancaster, and then to do the last year of the degree. However, that was exactly when COVID hit. And it all went up in the air, and it was all a bit of a nightmare. So I just dropped out of that. And then after that, so I never got the degree, but it didn't matter because I got the HND level 5.
Yeah.
But it was all a bit crazy because I couldn't see my lecturers, couldn't meet any of them at all. And it was all on a screen. And I was in a room, and there was no purpose of it at all because it was not the learning environment it was the learning environment taking me back to school where I struggled with the most.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't do it. So that was a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
And then kind of picked myself back up from that. And then after COVID, during the end of COVID, I then joined the Simon Rogan restaurants.
Yes.
Down in Cartmel. So that was the real training for hospitality. At this point, I'd worked 7 years in hospitality, and I thought I knew quite a lot. When I was in the country house hotels in the lakes, I was in a management position. Yeah. And I thought, I've got a good grounding. I know what I'm doing. Went to hospitality. I went to Loncloom and realised I knew absolutely nothing about hospitality. And I started from scratch again.
Wow.
So they gave me an incredible foundation platform, learning from my two key managers there was Tom Noller, who's just the best host you'll ever meet. And he's just, the way that he is with people, it's just phenomenal. And then his guest interaction, but then his knowledge to back it up. Yeah. His service style is incredible. Then you've got Max Lawrence, who was, he was a guy that was actually a few years younger than me in a management position. And he was just an incredible person to learn from and aspire to be like. Then Graham, who's the restaurant manager. And Graham was the most kind of concrete, it's restaurant manager you'll ever meet. Is so organized, so meticulous, every single attention to detail. And out of those three people, they were just the perfect people to learn from. That's a great,
a great trio of skills.
Started from the bottom and then learned a lot there about cheeses, all about British and Irish cheeses. I learned loads about wine, loads about food. Yeah. I spent time working on their farm. Picking produce and then bringing it back for the restaurant. Yeah. And then kind of the most exciting thing, when I was there for the 4 months into being there, they won their 3rd Michelin star, which is the first time any ever restaurants has won a 3rd star outside of London. So it was super cool. The celebrations were mad, and it was very I felt very fortunate to be in the team when it happened. Yeah. It's nothing down to me because I was literally just started, but it was super cool that I was there for it. And then they won Best Restaurant in the World when I was there, which was ecstatic.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. So,
but you quickly glossed over Kendal College.
Yeah.
We're going to go back there, and then we're going to come back to Loncloom because that's super exciting. Yeah. But I'll lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
So Kendal College, hospitality. So I think, if my memory serves me right, is that one of the few places in Cumbria that offers that qualification?
Definitely I would say the best one. Out of my because I looked at all the colleges online at the time. Yeah. I can't say it from being to them all, but Kendal College was a brilliant platform for it. So Richard Axford, who's now one of the leads there, he was really great at kind of curating the courses. But my kind of main tutors at the time was a lady called Amanda Eastwood and Suzanne Horner, and they were my tutors. There was only a group of 6 of us. And we did the different management positions and looked through different settings and courses in terms of what building a business, the marketing for a business, the social media for a business, the legislation, we also did a practical unit of one pastry element.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of cooking.
Cool.
Now, I'm not very good at cooking at all. I can only make a toasty, and that's about it. But like,
you have an appreciation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so you had to be able to do one pastry unit. For instance, if you're running a country house hotel and your pastry chef goes ill, the one element you can pick up, like most chefs can be able to work in the main kitchen.
Yes.
But most chefs, if anybody can work in a pastry a little bit, if it's an easy pastry section kind of thing. The idea was if you did a pastry section, you could help in the kitchen if you were a man down.
Yeah.
So we did that, and that was quite fun. So,
that's cool.
So I made a very lopsided baked Alaska for my
I love that.
dessert. Yeah. And it looked terrible. It looked like a hedgehog.
That's really cool. And a baked Alaska. What a throwback, a baked Alaska.
Yeah.
I had one of them for years.
Yeah.
Amazing. But yeah, so we've got clients in that hospitality space, and we know that there's often conversations around how challenging it is to find team members, to find people to work in different positions in their business. And I don't know how you found finding the right college, but is that a challenge? Is it difficult? Is it something that's talked about at school? Where does that sort of fit?
I think it's when I was at school, it was very hard because when you'd finished your GCSEs, the only options that were presented to me that I can remember clearly was you either go down the linear route, you get a job in either an accountant, the linear jobs, accountancy, teaching, doctor, that kind of thing. Yeah. Or you go to Sellafield and you get a job there. There was never any mention of any other careers at all, like barely. And it was hard to kind of, at the time I didn't know what to do. So it was kind of, I fell into hospitality. There was never anybody coming in to talk about hospitality, which is what I want to do. And I want to kind of, through the back of recent stuff that I've been involved in, which I think you'll come on to, but like I want to go in and speak about hospitality because that's a career that's never mentioned at all ever, not even slightly. No. So it's definitely.
And does that go back? You mentioned before at the point of hospitality being seen as quite a transient industry. Does that where it comes from? There's
definitely pressure because throughout kind of my life, there's always been people that said to me like, "So what are you really going to do?
Really?
What are you really going to do?" Or they said to us, "So have you thought about doing this?" Or "Why are you working there?" And all these kind of things. And it's really hard to kind of look at yourself and kind of think, actually, that's actually what I want to do. Hospitality is one of the things, if you at the bottom, it's not pretty. Yeah. You have to work really long hours. Yeah. You're not going to get paid much. Yeah. And it's not going to be ideal. If you get to the top, you get all the rewards, but it's getting to the top, which is the hard thing. Yeah. The main thing about hospitality is it doesn't matter how many qualifications you got, or how many certificates of anything you've got, how many degrees you've got. You could have 6-7 degrees, but you've got to start at the bottom. Yeah. There's no way otherwise up because you've got to start as the pot wash in order to get the grounding, in order to gain the respect and understand what it's like to be the pot wash. Yeah. And then you've got to build up.
That's really. Is that one of the only industries that happens? Would you say?
I don't know, but I could be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. That's really got me thinking. Actually,
yeah.
It's interesting. But yeah, I think that's.
It's like if you went to university, and you got a certificate and a degree in management, and you walked into as a restaurant manager. You don't know what's going on because you can manage the people. That's fine. You don't know what it's like to work in the different roles, and therefore you also wouldn't have the experience because you wouldn't know how to wash the pots in a certain efficiency and certain speed in an organisation. You need to be a pot washer because it's such a key role, and it's such a great role. I used to love it sometimes. You just get your head in there, and you just like zone in. Yeah, it's all about the speed, all about the organisation, and all about cleanliness. Yeah, and just being very methodical. But like, if you come in as that management, position, you're not going to be able to know that, and you won't be able to teach people that. Yeah, so it's like that. Yeah,
that's really interesting. Yeah. That is really interesting. So if there's somebody out there listening, thinking, "I do want a career in hospitality? What advice would you give them?
Oh, well, the reasons for doing it, it's just endless. So it's like, to start off with, the variety of each day is incredible. So you go in, it's something different every day. Yeah. The interaction with the guests is like paramount. You've got to love people. If you don't love people, you shouldn't be in the industry. End off. Because I've met people that work in the industry, they don't love people and they don't go down well. And the pay is really competitive when you get into those management positions, particularly with tips. Now, the UK doesn't do it very well. Like, we don't get very much gratuity. There has been recent legislation in place that we get all of the service charge has to go to the employees.
Okay.
So if you work in higher end restaurants, service charge gets added to the bill, as you'll see for most restaurants now, but it's optional. But 99% of people will leave the service charge on. Yeah. Anywhere I've eaten, because it's pretty mental if you take it off, basically. But that all goes back to the people, so it's really great. But in other countries, it's the wages in hospitality absolutely through the roof. Yeah. So that's really good. But then also the travel. You can work anywhere in the world. Yeah. You can taste amazing food. Yeah. You can explain amazing food. You can try amazing wines. You can talk about amazing wines. Yeah. And you're like a little social butterfly. And all you want to do is go around and create incredible guest experiences for everybody. Yeah. They walk into the restaurant feeling however they are. You want them to walk away from the restaurant feeling even better. And that's the goal. And you get, the biggest thing is you get like guest satisfaction. Like, you can see you've made somebody's day. Yeah. The guy last night that was served in the restaurant, and he's like, that is the best main course I've ever had. And you're like, to listen to that, it's like, well, wow. Or this is the best meal I've ever had. Or you get the tricky situations where they've been through something really challenging in life. Something that you'd never ask a guest how they are if you've had some background about what they've recently been through. Because that could just literally just unfurl it all. But I had some friends in recently that have had a tricky time, and I served them and throughout the night made their experience, and they came away and they're in tears by the end of the meal, and because of the experience and because it meant so much to them, and it was really special. So they're kind of things are the biggest things that, like, wow. So, yeah,
I love it, and it's a really great industry, and we were just trying to work with it, that people make an experience. It's the small things, it's the minor details, or the little things somebody picks up on that really does amplify and elevate that. And we were chatting about your other half being in a completely different industry, but how there's similarities to the both of them.
Yeah. So my girlfriend is like currently a doctor, and we're like, it's completely kind of relevant for irrelevant, because it's like, she says that in her career that they make people better. And then in hospitality, we make people's experiences better, make people better physically in their mind, as well as she makes them physically better, we make them mentally better, basically, in that kind of setting. So it's quite cool because there's a similarity between those. And it is in lots of different careers. It's not just that, but there's take-homes. Hospitality is in everything you do, whether you're in marketing, social media, anything that's got people interaction, hospitality is the paramount for it all. If you're selling something, you need to be hospitable. So why not do like a career in hospitality focused only on that? It's cool. Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool. So we'll skip forward. Now we'll go back to the exciting bit of long claim, because we need to get into that. Yeah. So you started there. How old were you when you were there, if you don't mind me asking?
That's a good question. I would say, I think I was about 23.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's super cool at 23 to be in a...
22, 23.
Yeah. That's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was great. It was... When I went on my trial shift, I was absolutely blown away. Like, I went and I was like the service went, I was like, what the heck just happened there? It was just absolutely wild.
In a tornado.
It was like, everything is so precise. Everything's so particular.
Yeah.
It's like a ballet.
Yeah.
So everything, like, you ask the guests, you want still or sparkling water at the start of the meal. And as you kind of start to interact, you put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
And then within minutes, there's other people listening to the conversation. Yeah. They've got a craft as still or sparkling behind their back. Now, if you didn't hear it, you either go like that, which means still, or that, which means sparkly. Oh, wow. And you just do that little hand gesture behind your back. And within minutes, you'll get a walk craft behind your back. You brownish it out, and then you start pouring the thing. And then you grab, how about a glass of, the easiest way to start an experience is you say, how about a glass of bubbles? You're going to make really good GP on a glass of bubbles straight away. Yeah. And how about a glass of bubbles? And then they go, these are options. Somebody's listening again. Yeah. Before you know it, then bubbles are in your hand. Yeah. And you're still interacting with the guests. So the service is still flowing. You're still at the table. You haven't moved. Yeah. And people are working around you. And it's just
Joel, that's a real skill.
It's really cool. And then, I mean, the coolest one that I ever had, and it was taught to me by a gentleman called Richie Grierson. And he now works in Liverpool at a restaurant called Nod. And he once said to me, like, once a guest comes, walks through the door, he was analysing which hand they used to take their hat off. If it was their left hand or their right hand, and thinking, clocking, are they left-handed or are they right-handed? And then later on down the line, you then are looking at it and thinking, right, is he left-handed? So I'm just going to confirm. I'm going to analyse it for the next 5 or 6 minutes. Right, oh, hang on. They've just picked up their wine glass with their left hand. Yeah. And then when it gets to the cutlery element, you set the cutlery the opposite way around, which is super cool. Yeah. It's so switched on. And then the guests are like, why have you... And then they're like, whoa, how did you know that?
That's so
And then,
cool. That's really cool.
And then you make notes on their booking about if they come back. Like, gent likes reds from Bordeaux. Yeah. Lady likes Alsace whites. Yeah. You make notes. Yeah. And then next time they come back, do you want to start off with a white wine from Alsace? And she goes, whoa. How do you know that?
That? It's so cool. I was chatting to one of my friends. He's just been over in the States at the golf conferences at a management meeting in the States, and the golf club it was hosted at, you'll love this, they had all of the guests' number plates in recognition as they drove up the driveway. So you got 60 seconds as the host to find the reg plate, find the guest, find out about them, have all of that. I was like, Joel's going to love this.
That's so cool. I love that. And it builds a profile and you see it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can greet the guest and you've already got whatever it is.
We have things now where so I'm still in touch with a lot of the management there. Yeah. And because I'm now in a management position here, what I do is I build a little guest profile in the cottage after every single person. Google and search most guests that come to the cottage to understand their background, what understand they do. So when I ask them, where have you travelled from? I already know where they're from. Yeah. Because I know where they've travelled from. I know if they've had a long journey and that kind of stuff. And I now will text my mate if I hear from any guest that's saying, oh, maybe I'm eating at Longclume tomorrow. Yeah. I'll text my mate at Longclume, Tom, and I'll say, Tom, these guests are coming. They had the wine flight. They're like sparkling water and they're massive cheese fanatics or whatever. And then he'll know that. And then when he sees the guests, oh, you went to the cottage last night. You want to start off with some sparkling water, or do you want to start? And it's like, whoa, that's so cool. And they're like, how do you know that? Like,
like a secret service.
It's a secret service. But in hospitality, it's in different industries, it's all about being competitive and like being better than each other. Yeah. In hospitality, in the Lake District, not necessarily for the whole of the country, but in the Lake District, it's all about supporting each other and being in it together.
That's so cool.
Every restaurant's different. Every guest's got different experience at every restaurant. Every guest is going to enjoy different restaurants more than others. Yeah. And it's so important that kind of you work together.
Yeah. And is that preference based on sort of style? Has every restaurant got a different style?
Yeah, style, ambiance, food, wines,
what's
service.
Your favourite? Are we allowed to?
In the lakes?
Yeah. Am I allowed to ask that?
I
didn't write that down, by the way.
No. Well, I've had two great experiences recently. And it's kind of, three really. Number one would have to be Forest Side. So it's Paul Leonard. He's an incredible chef. Such a gentleman of a man as well. I've been there twice in the last year. Great food. The restaurant setting's in the woods as well. And it's something that's really special. The dining room is just full of I love wood. And it's all wooden finished. And there's little terrariums on the tables, like little mini greenhouses. The cheese board is on a trolley. I love cheese trolleys. That's my kind of go-to thing. And then also I had an incredible Sunday lunch at Heft. That Heft Sunday lunch, best Sunday lunch in the Lake District by miles.
Tom, we need to go.
Yeah.
We need to make this happen.
Michelin star Sunday lunch. It's it's about double your average spend for a Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing. Kevin Tickle, who is the chef there, he's just phenomenal. And it's just like, it's like a Tafaz Sunday lunch. There's loads of little bits everywhere. You should see the photo of my table that was there. It was just full of
we'll insert that there.
Everything. Yeah, literally. It was just, I've got the most incredible, like, Instagrammable shot of, like, above the shop, down on the table of everything, of chaos. And then recently I went to Forest Side, so Rogan & Co. as well. Yeah. The Simon Rogan restaurants. And I've been there 3 times now. And my last visit was exceptional. Food was amazing. Tom Reeves, chef there, he came out and he spent loads of time with us. He showed us his new kitchen. It was great to see the Rogan team again because they keep in touch with them all.
Love it.
And we came back and we got spoiled rotten. And I took a chef from the Cottage who's like a young, inspiring chef, and he learnt lots there. And kind of, he was thinking of doing a stage now, which is like a week. In hospitality, it's called stage is a week's work experience. Basically.
Ah, right, okay.
You can go to work in any other restaurant.
Oh, wow.
As a chef or front of house or whatever.
Cool.
And whilst there, they'll train you, and you can bring stuff back to your restaurant.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm doing a few of these this year.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's super cool. We haven't had a chef on the pod yet.
Oh, cool.
We would like a chef on the pod.
Yeah. Well, I tried to speak to Jack because Jack could potentially do something to do with like chefing and stuff. Yeah.
That'd be super cool. We'd love that because completely different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Super creative.
Yeah, 100%.
Worked with some great ones, some scary ones too.
Yeah. But Jack's great at public speaking. Like, he's a top chef.
Yeah.
He's so inspiring to work for. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So,
and he's also on telly at the moment because he's on the Great British Menu.
He is, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that'd be a cool guy to get on the podcast.
That would be really good. Right, thanks for that. This
no
was
worries.
a really good one. So we'll skip forward from Longcliffe. So we were there for 3 years, was it?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
In total.
And then I served Jack and Beth, my new owners.
Yeah.
The new owners of Cottage, my managers, and they served them when I was at Henrock because I moved to their other restaurant for a little bit. Served them there, got to know them, and I was kind of looking for another option because basically at the time I was kind of traveling home to see my friends in Cockermouth a lot, and I wanted to be closer to home, but I still wanted to work at high level. Yeah. The South Lakes for me, I'm very biased, but I don't think it's as beautiful. It's too touristy compared to the Northwest Lakes. I love my heart. It's kind of around Crummock Water and Buttermere and all those kind of places, but not in the touristy season. But Bowness and Windermere for me, they've turned too commercialised and all that kind of stuff. So I prefer that kind of this neck of the woods. So I wanted to be closer to here. I came up, got an opportunity to work for Jack and Beth. Started as the sommelier there. So sommelier, looking after wine, the ordering the stock, as well as being at the tables, explaining wines, pairing it with different dishes. Yeah. And I was also kind of at that time helping to run the restaurant. And then and then I got promoted to the restaurant manager about 6 months in. Yeah. And then, well, not even 6 months, actually 4 or 5 months in, and got to work for the team basically, and got trained everybody up alongside like the incredible like encouragement and support from Beth, who's my general manager, who is an absolute incredible knowledge of wine. Like, she's one of the top sommeliers in the UK. Wow. And running restaurants. She's brilliant.
So cool.
She's so enthusiastic, but also a really great way of dealing with service. And like, she has these steps of service. So every there's a step for every single thing you do. And that's her kind of way of looking at it. And it's a really kind of inspiring, very organised, very approachable way to look at it. And I've learned a lot from her. So it's great. Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you what your favourite wine is because that's an open-ended question.
It's a question that honestly so many guests ask me, and I have never had an answer because it's like it depends on what you're doing.
Well, if you were going to have it with your Sunday lunch at Heft, what are you drinking?
Oh well, I'm all into my natural wines. It's all a bit rogue, so it's the world of wine that is coming on leaps and bounds at the moment. But it's a world of wine that the elder generation don't enjoy because they think it's very farmyardy. So natural wine kind of is kind of slightly uncontrolled fermentation. Okay. So sometimes you've got a fizziness to the red wine. And sometimes it's got a little bit of like almost like a farmyardy undertone. Yeah. But at the moment I'm really enjoying like Austrian reds, but that are natural and biodynamic as well. It's all about connecting the moon and the stars the way they harvest the grapes as we can. Yeah.
So restaurant manager, what does that typical day look like?
So, well, for instance, I'll tell you what's going to happen today. Yeah. so I want to walk into the cottage this morning. Breakfast will just be finishing for the guests that are staying over. So we have eight rooms. Yeah. It's marketed as a restaurant with rooms, so we're not a hotel. Yeah. So you have to dine if you want to stay. Yeah. And I'll be going in and I'll be doing the table plans initially, working out where everybody's going to be for lunch. Then I'll be looking at who have I got in for my team, working out basically set positions for the day. Yeah. Tasks for the afternoon once the service is finished. So it's preparation for guests arriving at between 3:30 and 4 for our guests staying over tonight. Yeah. And then it's a case of like doing some of the graft stuff. So building the fires, make sure they're lit in the lounges, making sure the restaurant's set and ready. It should be set because the people in the morning do that after breakfast. Perfect. And then it's a case of making sure the chefs have had coffees. Yeah. That's essential. If the chefs haven't had coffees, carnage. But it's they have their set coffee at 10:30, then they have a set coffee at 3:00. And it always has to be on time because they make our staff tea incredible at 5:00. So we need to try and make their staff coffees as good as we can. I love that. And then lunch service will begin at this guests start arriving from 12 till 12:30. First table is officially 12:30. Okay. And then we have 12:30 sittings, 12:45, and then 1:00. And then guests will go throughout service. I'll be leading the service. Yeah. People on various positions of staff, calling dishes, letting the service go. Yeah. Lunchtimes I'll be the sommelier as well as the host and the manager. And then in the middle of the day, it's just the grafty jobs, the cutleries, the glasses, the laying the table and of all of the restaurant, turning it all around, cleaning jobs, greeting the guests when they come to the cottage, remembering exactly who they are. And then they have welcome drinks in the lounge on complimentary, so teas, coffees, and at the moment we've got an arrival cake, which is actually a hot cross bun with an elderflower honey, which is delicious, freshly baked. So they have those in our lounge, which has got a record player and an open fire. It's delicious. And it's just lovely ambiance. And then they go upstairs. We have essentially like a family meal. So we all have a meal together at 5:00. Yeah. And then when it gets to 5:30, we have a briefing. I lead the briefing for the team, talking about the guests for tonight. Yeah. Talking about who we've got in, the dietaries, the table formats. And then I talk through the menus. Yeah. And then I talk about any service points that I want us to focus on from picking up from last night. Anything to improve on, anything we need to work on, but also the positives as well. Yeah. So it's always about that sandwich of positive, little bit of something to work on, positive, kind of the sandwich, which has got a naughty word, but it's something sandwich. And then it's we have that, and then from my kind of briefings, I take a lot of inspiration from a book called Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Gooder, and it's about 11 Madison Park, which was the best restaurant in the world. About that. So I take little snippets from that sometimes, and motivational points, and then talk about where everybody's going to be in the night. And then chef does his bit. So chef's in our briefing. Brilliant. He talks about the service and anything that's changed on the menu or anything he wants to focus on, because Jack is also owner as well. So he wants his direction he'll sometimes give us service points as well. And then service runs. And then service runs from first tables at 6:30, last tables at 8. Nice. People are genuinely in for about 3.5 hours at night time. We only have one sitting. There's no turning tables or anything.
Yeah.
Guests leave generally about 10:30, 11-ish.
Yeah.
And then they stay in the lounge until about 11:30. And then we go home officially at 11:30. But sometimes I stay a little bit later, but that's just me. But other than that, I make sure the team's out at 11:30 pretty much. And then that's the day. So it's an 11:30 till 11:30 for me, but people have different shifts.
Hey guys, sorry, it's me. I know you hate it when I interrupt the pod, but just a quick one to say, if you could like and subscribe to the podcast, it really does help us grow the pod and be able to get more bigger and better guests. You can also find Joel on Instagram. I think he's at Joel Penno. Give him a like, give him a subscribe and follow if you want to find a bit more behind the scenes of what it's like to work in hospitality from the man himself. So we've got some super cool stuff that's just happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so
which is the reason how I found out about you.
It's all of it crackers. I can't quite believe it. So what happened is last August. Well, it kind of happened. It happened a couple of years ago, really, because 18 months ago, because I applied for this competition in hospitality. It's called the Gold Service Scholarship.
Yeah.
Back in 24 of August 24.
Yeah.
And I got through into the quarterfinals, which is yet to do an interview stage and then get into the quarterfinals. And I didn't make it past that. And it was a competition that I thought maybe it's not for me. It's very precise, very old school in style, in terms of the style of service. Yeah. Traditional, but backed up with like, you need to really know your stuff about where you are. And I kind of felt very much of a fish out of water. It's like the setting was in a 5-star hotel. So I've never even stepped foot in a 5-star hotel. So I didn't know what's going on. Yeah. And my mistake was that I tried to be somebody that I wasn't and tried to fit in. And it wasn't right. And I didn't get past the quarterfinals. I was pretty gutted. And I was like, right, I don't think I'm going to do this again. Anyways, it got to last year in June, July, and I went to 64 Good Street, my favourite restaurant in London. And I was talking to Ashley Best, who's a previous winning finalist, and he was like, "You just should apply again." So I was like, "Right, Ashley, can you help me be the mentor for this competition? Can you help me with the whole thing?" And he said, "Yeah." So he jumped on board with me, and he helped me kind of through all the different stages. And he says, "The first thing you need to do is you have to be who you are and be present in who you are and be genuine." Yeah. So that's what I did, and I started I applied and. The quarterfinals was a stage of 3 stages. So you had to, it was a 50-mark exam. There was a practical exam, which was basically laying a table and silver serving a bread roll. Yeah. And then there was one, which was basically dressing as you go for an interview for a food and beverage manager of a 5-star hotel. And you had various interview questions. I got through that stage, which I was chuffed about because I was like, that's further than last year. Yeah. The semi-finals was the Chancery Rosewood in London, which was the old American embassy. Yeah. This is a hotel that's only just been like complete. It's been taken, I think it was saying 6 years to convert it from the embassy into a hotel. Wow. It's got like loads of secret underground bunkers and stuff, and it was really cool. So I went in and I was like, right, I'm so pleased I'm here. I'm so grateful that I'm going to go in with no nerves because like I've done better than last year. Yeah. So, and I'm just delighted to be here. Yeah. So we had 5 challenges there. One was laying a table under this pressure, and you got told the specification once, and you had to do it. You had 8 minutes for that task. Wow. One was decanting. Yeah. And you assessed how you decant, so pouring a wine into essentially a giant vase over a candlelight. Yeah. And you had to talk about the wines as well. Now you knew what wines there could be. They could be. Yeah. Out of 3, you had to prepare for all 3, and then just one would come up on the day. Yeah. And then you had to do a team building task, which was essentially service priorities. Okay. Then you had to do a cocktail making tableside task. And then the last one was the one that I did the best on, which was this designing a menu, designing a wine pairing for the menu, costing the menu, and then pitching it to these guests that were there for a 60th birthday party. And I got I got a really good mark in that. I've been kind of roughly said that I've been done well in that task. So I was really delighted about that. And I kind of, the day I thought went really well. And then you also analyse on the day about how you interact with other people throughout the whole of the day, the other judges, it's a day, like it was a day-long competition. So you got there at 8:30 and finished at 5:00.
Oh, that's intense.
So it was really intense.
Yeah.
Lots of different briefings at various points.
And you're the only person there from the Northwest?
Yeah, from the Northwest. No, it wasn't. No, for the semi-finals, I was there with. There was 3 other people that were from. There was one from Henrock, one from Rogan and Co, one from Longclone.
Yeah.
And then it was just like kind of waiting to see if you got in the final, and then I got this. It was all live on Instagram to find out who got in the final, and I got in, and I could not believe it. There's a reaction video online of me like in my restaurant finding out, kind of smacking my head, didn't know what had gone on, and Jack's sitting next to me at the time. He's just drinking his cup of tea very peacefully because they already knew because they had to film my reaction live.
Oh.
And I was really annoyed with Jack and Beth because I was like, why are you filming me? There's no way I've got in because I thought I really hadn't.
Yeah.
Because I'd prepared loads, but it was so fish out of water. I just didn't think I'd got it. But anyways, I got in and I was like, wow. So anyways, I got to the final was in, the seminar for the final was in January. And we had a full day seminar of preparation for what's going to happen in the final.
Yeah.
It's all about taking notes and stuff. And learning about the menu, learning about the food. We had a presentation of all of the food and all of the wines. You got to try everything. And then you got analysed on kind of, I think you're definitely getting watched throughout that kind of process of how you were kind of composing yourself. We got a tour of the Corinthia Hotel as well whilst we were there. Got to see some of the incredible rooms. So the Royal Suite and stuff, which is on the corner of kind of looking out across the London Eye. It's just incredible. It's a crazy amount of money to stay in rooms.
Gorgeous.
So we got to see that, and then that was really exciting. And then as soon as we did the seminar, suddenly my mind like switched, and I was like, "Hang on, I'm here now. There's 10 finalists. Yeah. I've got a chance of winning. I've got 1 in 10 at the least, 10%.
Yeah.
And then luckily I was off work that week, so I was like, right, I need to dial in. So I found out where the restaurant is, where the final is going to be. It was in the Corinthia, but it was in Tom Kerridge's restaurant. Yeah. So I took myself to dine at the restaurant to start off with, on my own. Yeah. Because I love solo dining is the best thing ever, especially when you get to Michelin stars, because you're like, it's all about the food, all about the wine. You don't need to think about who you're with. Yeah. And then you interact with the guests, the staff, so you build that rapport. And so I went to the restaurant, solo dined, understood the ambience of the restaurant, learned about the restaurant, asked the staff members about the history of the restaurant, so I could every single last little details. Yeah. And then so we basically, the challenge for the final was we had 4 guests, 4 VIPs, which were huge industry professionals. Like I had a member that works for hospitality for one of the Swiss banks on my table, a chief executive of a hospitality company, another wine supplier, and someone that again looks after a different hospitality background, but he was part of like Lauren Perrier, which is the champagne. Yeah. So you had to look after those guests, but whilst you're looking after the guests, you had to come up with a service order. Okay. So it's a steps of service, essentially what I was saying about what Beth does before, but you had to, every single step that you made for the service, you had to write it on a step. Got you. So the first step will be go to the table, put the menus down. That's one step. Yeah. Step 2 will be ask about water. So anyways, all of that whole step service for the whole of my meal was 75 steps. And then you had to print that out. Yeah. You had to give it to the standing judges. So there's 3 standing judges behind you looking at your table. Yeah. And they would look at your steps of service and make sure that you're following your own steps of service. Wow. To what steps of service that you told them. Yeah. And if you didn't get it right, that was, I don't know, but I'm sure you had to stick to your plan. Yeah. Unless there was a curveball that meant you had to change according to plan. But whilst you were at the meal, you had to, the first challenge was you had to do a quenelle of a mackerel rillette, which is kind of the 2 spoons. Yeah. So I was practicing that at home with a turkey pate from Asda, which has cost me 50p. And then the next bit was decanting a red wine. Yeah. So I was practicing that with one of Mum's vases at home because I didn't have a decanter. Yeah. And also I dropped a bottle of wine on Mum's floor whilst I was doing it, which was quite funny. But it went absolutely everywhere. And it was the night before the final. Oh, no. But they sorted it all out for me. And then the main course was a beef Wellington. You had to carve that table side. Oh, cool. And then the dessert, which was the hardest, was it was like a 6 or 7 tier chocolate cake.
Oh, it's truth.
And then you had to blowtorch a knife and slice it, table side again, but levering it down so it's on the plate and then serve it. But then whilst you're doing all that, there's also like, you had a matching wine for each course. You have to explain the wines to serve the guests and build the rapport. Same, not too intrusive on it and not being too much about yourself, because it's about their experience. And I know how to serve the guests. So this bit, I felt that if I got to the final, I had a good chance, because this is a bit I actually feel like I'm good at.
Yeah.
But all the other bits felt like they were staged.
Yeah.
But this wasn't staged. This was real life.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then after that, I had an interview to do.
Yeah.
And I also had to do an interview that Carlos Reyna helped me with, which was basically promoting the Gold Scholarship on about why to apply. And you had to submit that on a USB. So he did one of the cottage, and it was just the best video ever. Everybody said it's the best thing ever. He's got drone footage of the cottage. He's got photos of me. He's got me talking about it. It had to be 45 seconds long, so it's really short. And it's just awesome. And that stood me in good stead. And then, I went to Claridge's on Monday, the 9th of February. And I got announced as the Gold Scholar. So I was absolutely delighted.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my mum and dad were there and found out the news and couldn't believe it. Probably seen the video. My mum and dad were behind in the video. You can see them and they were just over the moon. And it's just amazing. It was surreal. But that night was a whirlwind, because I finished, got awarded it, and then didn't know what happened. The next hour was a blur. I can't remember what happened. And there was this incredible food at Claridge's. Like, all this buffet food. There's a mushroom making corner where you pick your mushrooms. The chef would make the mushrooms. Yeah. There was these smash burgers. There was caviar bombs. Yeah. There was prawns. There was langoustines. There was like these little cocktail things. And I got to eat none of it because everybody wanted to come up to you, congratulate you, shake your hand. And I was like, let me eat a smash burger. So at one point I snuck into the corner and scoffed my mate a smash burger. And that's all I got. But it's just incredible. But if it wasn't for Ashley Best, who was like my mentor, I think every moment I was kind of asking him for my guidance, steps, and I set time to speak to every single previous scholar before the final. It was another preparation thing that I did, which I took a little bit from each of them to understand about how they won, how they got it.
Love it.
And then there's loads of experiences from it, basically.
Yeah. So you've won.
Yeah.
Now, what does it mean for those of us that don't live in your world?
Yeah.
Tell us what the.
Well, it's the most prestigious hospitality competition in the UK, and basically to win the whole of the nation for that is super cool. Yeah. So for that, it basically means that I've won a lot of prizes, which means it's basically prizes of experiences. Yeah. So the first experience so there's no physical prize. Yeah. There is a physical. I did get a massive magnum of Laurent Perrier, which has my name engraved and the Gold Scholar. Yeah. And I'll never drink that bottle. It'll always be on the shelf, kind of thing. Even though it's very tempting, but it's never going to be cracked. But and then I got a beautiful plate with my name engraved on it, and a couple of other kind of takeaways and stuff. But the main thing is the experiences, and it's this year that I'm representing the UK for hospitality. So the first one is in Lausanne, in Switzerland, and it's the EHL Hospitality School. So, one of the best hospitality schools in the world. Going there, speaking about hospitality, talking, and then also learning a lot there. And then from there, I'm flying to Turkey to do a meal on behalf of the Turkish ambassadors. Representing the UK. This is off the back of the competition. This isn't an experience that I've won. Yeah. But I'm doing a meal in Turkey, in Ankara for that, celebrating St. George's Day. Yeah. And then after Switzerland, I'm going to go to Porto at some point to stay with the Symingtons, who own Grahamsport, in their family villa, learning about port. Then I'm going to Champagne Laurent Perrier at some point, which will be really cool, learning about their champagne, their champagne house. Then I'm doing the Royal Tea Party serving the royal family
Yeah.
at some point in July, I think it is. And then I'm doing either an experience at Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle to work there. And then it's just absolutely mad. But like, there's more. Then they're taking me to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
To
I've got that down. Yeah.
To work at Mandarin Oriental, the 5-star.
Yeah.
And then they're flying me to Bangkok to work at the Mandarin Oriental 5-star as well. Fantastic. And then you can pick any 3 Michelin star you want in the UK to work at for a week. And then
have you chosen yet?
No, and I don't know yet.
Okay.
So this weekend I've got a meeting. It's called the Gold Scholar Lunch with all the trustees and all of the judges, and it's just me. And then it's at Coutts Bank in London. So like the biggest banking thing, and it's in some sort of VIP suite there, which is mad. And they're kind of the main experiences, but there's loads more that I keep cropping up. Like they've just invited me yesterday to some sort of clay pigeon shooting event, which will be quite good fun because I've never done that. But as a team gold. But the biggest thing is this year I want to go to all the schools around, talk about hospitality, about the career, motivating people that it's an incredible industry to be in, but also that Cumbria is the best place for it because we've got like the most amount of Michelin stars in the whole of the UK in terms of counties, except for London. Yeah. So
it's fantastic.
Exciting.
It is very, very exciting. And do you know what? I've received nothing but good energy from you the whole time you've been here. And, but this amazing award that you've received with such humility. Yeah. Yeah. And it's incredible. And you played it down and you're just, I'm going to do this. It's incredible. Yeah. And I feel like you're really putting Cumbria on the map. So
thanks.
On behalf of the rest of us, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been super cool. I expected just a little camera in the corner of the room to be sat on a chair, kind of feeling very awkward. And to sit here and see this setup that Nat and Jack have got, it's super cool. So anybody that can get involved in the podcast, do it. Because it's super chill.
You're very kind. Yeah. Thank you. But it's been an absolute hoot. I can't wait to see where this journey takes you. Yeah. And I did say this to one of our other guests, if we can book you back on for another 5 years' time. And we'll have a catch up and a review of what's happening in that chat because there's going to be a lot more to come.
But if you need to, if any social media and stuff like that, if you follow my Instagram, anybody that's interested.
Well, this has been absolutely a breath of fresh air. Thanks so much for sharing all your experience. I know, Joel, you've got to get off because you've got a shift to get to. But honestly, thanks for being a brilliant guest. Thanks for putting Cumbria on the map. And we'll follow your journey.
Super.
Cheers.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And that's it. Another episode of the Chatterjack Podcast. I'm sure you'll agree what a great guest Joel was. We've had such a laugh through that pod and off air as well. So please do give us a like, give us a subscribe, follow us along on the journey, and it will help us grow this podcast so we can maybe get those chefs on, or who knows who else. Cheers.